Bong bong.
Bong bong.
Just like that. It takes our mics, it puts our mics back on, so everything. I don't even have to touch anything anymore.
Oh,
mastery. Thank you.
We're figuring it out.
Hey, welcome to the Bodycast. It's the official podcast for the subreddit r/rap battles. Definitely check us out. My name is Copasetic, and today with me, a couple special guests.
Pathogenic.
name's Mason. I am Pathogenic's brother, the man who got the man into battle rap. So if you ever have some flowers to give,
now's the time.
I'm here today.
Flowers in the comments. We will accept only flowers.
Yeah.
Throw some flowers in the comments. Just everybody watching. r/rap battles is, of course, the largest online forum for the international culture of battle rap. Find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and the official Discord server in the links below. It's the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. Air guitar. It's more like an air ukulele. It's all right.
It was a great riff.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? You appreciate it. I appreciate it. There's a lot of appreciation because that's the vibe of this show. You know, is people who appreciate the finer things. I would say very, very descriptive of our audience and the people who watch this show.
Definitely.
Yeah, when it comes to the audience, I would actually describe them as finer things. That's what they are.
Yes. So thank you for joining us. You are really top tier, top level of engagement with battle rap community. That's why you care about expert opinions such as ours. We're very seasoned professionals about this, and that's why you're here. And might I say, you're looking pretty good today. I think it's unanimous that something about you. You're looking good today, and it's going to carry on through. It's going to carry on through to the rest of the day because that's what this show does. But the best part about this show is obviously the community cheers that just kicks it up to the next level and locks in basically that good feeling. So, gentlemen, if you have your water, your McDonald's, your glasses of beers, join us now for the community cheers. Cheers, man.
Oh, you're not gonna cheers? All right.
Oh, I guess we could actually cheers.
There you go.
Wow, that's the first time that's ever happened.
Amazing work. This is we're setting all kinds of precedent here.
It's a great show today.
Really is. Okay. Oh, what's up? We got mad comments already.
Shout out Dubs.
Big Dubs.
And A1 is watching the show. Hey, look at A1's profile picture. Look at that. This well-drawn portrait. I've been seeing these everywhere. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I even would do it.
12 years of training in the fine arts. No, sorry. It's an app, right?
It's probably an app, yeah.
Yeah. Good shit. Oh, hey, what? And the legend himself, Gas Buff, is in the house.
Let's go, Gas Buff.
Literally, Shaggos.
This fucking guy, I've seen his little videos everywhere all over Twitter lately, especially because you're involved in them.
It was really wild. I'm showing my girl. She's like, what am I watching? I'm like, I really don't know. It's amazing. So if you don't know, Gas Buff is the biggest name in battle rap to have not had a battle drop.
Correct.
So,
that is the underlying theme of the videos.
It's an incredible run of promo that can only be purchased through the Premier Battles Patreon. So if you really, really need to know, that's how you go.
That's how good he is. They don't even drop it anywhere else unless you pay for it. So
it's brilliant. Yeah. It's really, really smart. But check him out on Twitter and all the things, obviously, because it's wildly entertaining. We got a great show. That's it, right? That's the whole intro. Boom.
Yeah. So
that's my job. Let's get out of here.
It's been a great show so far. It's a little bit lighter than some, but
we cover what we want to cover. Said hello, introduce Mason, Gas Buff, call it a day.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, let's keep the theme before we go into Ultimate Madness 5, which I'm sure everybody is dying to hear us regale them with our interpretations and expert analysis. Let's stay in the UK and Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like what's happening over there? It's like the calm before the storm, right? I mean,
yeah, a couple big things on the way, it looks like. For one, there's been some drops happening from Absolute recently with Georgie Roots and Visual. Slester versus Tech came out today.
right.
And then in addition to that, I believe the full card for the plug is now fully out. And there's a little bit of hype building there too, which is really cool.
That is a good looking card.
And then Bard versus Savant.
You know, a great Academy drop. Very happy about that. Did you guys see Bard versus Savant?
We did, yeah. Watched it about an hour ago or so.
Amazing.
It seems anyway.
Well, then great. Then you're fresh. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the promo leading up to this, but Bard is a great promo. I mean, he's just basically how he is in the ring online. He's big. He's going to destroy you. He's the best. You know, this personality is massive.
And that's very apparent too when you're watching him when he's battling. He has an unbelievable ability to control not only the crowd, but the way that everything is working in the battle. He had great performance, great charismatic, great charisma. Sure. And it was really impressive to see him really turn the room into his fans. Almost.
Yeah, it's a real skill, talent, and he's exactly like the charisma of the character. It's larger than life.
Definitely. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it before we hopped on there. He's just got that that it factor, right? Like that something untangible about him that just like draws your attention towards the guy. Like sure. even when his opponent is rapping, you know, like he's doing so much, even like in between. So like even when he's not actually rapping, he still commands the stage, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage, especially in like a tournament format where, you know, it's not so much about how many times have we watched this over and listened to all the bars and picked it apart. It's like in the room, how do you feel?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how.
Yeah, and he makes the crowd feel like he's the guy that's winning and that he's the guy that's in charge. Exactly. And he also, which is really cool because they kind of introduced it a little bit at the beginning of the battle, but talking about him being from King of the Ronalds. And you can really see how he's a King of the Ronalds guy while he's battling. He's got that sort of fringe style of UK battling that King of the Ronalds was kind of famous for.
Yeah, there's really like an element of fun and not giving a fuck, which is at the core of King of the Ronalds, I think. Yeah, shouts out to King of the Ronalds. That was a special period of time in Battlerap.
It sure was something.
Yeah, shouts out to Mickey Worthless and Hulk and all those guys. Good people. Good people. But yeah, Savant, this is the first time I've seen him before. This is like, well, he has only had like a few battles, am I right?
Only a few battles that have necessarily dropped on YouTube to be able to see, but I'm pretty sure he's been in the Academy a few different times.
Oh, right. True. That was the beginning.
And so he's definitely more of a vet when it comes to the Academy format. And he's really, really good too. This was, it almost kind of looked like the two number one seeds from each team going up against one another. Yeah,
it'd be really interesting to see the rest of these Academy battles because and he had someone Dub Scandal, which is wild because I follow Dub Scandal so closely and I haven't seen Matto versus Savant. Was that on the fucking Dub Scandal card? Come on, Crow, jump in here. But yes, I felt like when he was writing the things he was saying, I was like really into it. He was holding my attention and he was punching. He had cool shit to say. I thought he did really well. I have him beating Bard, I think maybe 2-1. It's like super, super close. But yeah. I personally really like that style that he does.
Right. And speaking of style, let's talk for a little bit about Savant's shirt. Because that gives him a 3-0 advantage right off the hop.
It's true.
Because of everyone talking about his lazy eye. And so his little shirt character that has him on there has his eye trailing off the whole side to about here.
Amazing.
Hilarious.
It's an original art piece, if I'm not mistaken, by the one and only Gas Buff, taking UK Battlerap by storm.
he's really everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
For real. We need him to headline some cards, having 0 battles dropped. For real. Let's go, legend. What is Battle of the Night qualifiers? What does that mean? What does that mean? Blood on the Nile? Baby on the napkin. I don't know what BOTN means.
It's not Battle of the Night.
No,
that's too easy.
Yeah. But yeah, really cool vibe. I mean, we sort of saw that coming too. Is that it's a great format that the Academy has created for developing talent, and that everybody there is, while it's competitive and there are teams, it seems like there's a really good atmosphere, really good energy.
Yeah, it was definitely great to see, and we're going to talk about it a little later when we do get into Ultimate Madness, and it'll kind of make more sense then. But watching Bard versus Savant, it did give me strong Fonz versus Real Sick vibes, where it seemed like Bard was a lot more concise, getting to his point quickly, making his jokes in a very fast manner, whereas Savant really was laying out a lot of different topics and taking a while to get to those punches, but being very concise when he did get to them.
Sure.
And seeing the discrepancy between the two and having that mirrored on Ultimate Madness was actually kind of interesting for me.
Yeah, that's true, and we are super going to get into that. We should definitely leave a chunk for that. Because that's very interesting stuff. It's a style clash. It's like, here's your performance versus your pen, yeah, I mean, Bard got the win. He got the W, and he advances. I don't even know how that works, because there's 2 different teams, and like somebody's team super advanced, right?
Yeah, I don't actually know how it works either. Maybe it ends up being that.
They got to right. They got to battle each other
eventually.
I don't understand. It's all British, so it's upside down.
Who knows? Yeah, it's kind of like backwards, right? We drive on the left side, they drive on the right. So obviously we're just missing something.
There's some cultural disconnect there, but please have mercy on us, UK Battlerap. Otherwise really dope. It's a sort of slow week. Otherwise, this Leicester and Tech is dope. Definitely check that out. Yeah, I mean, I guess they've got some big events coming up, and that's what's happening now.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff planned out. I saw on Twitter today that Premier Battles shared a schedule of what the battles are going to be, when they're going to be, what the drops are going to be, and when those drops will happen, and a Patreon schedule as well. So
impressive.
Lots of big things.
It used to be that you wouldn't drop schedules because, and this was back in the day. I'm talking like 4 years ago. That it was the competition would see your schedule, and then they would make sure that they had something released to that day to distract her. It was always like, oh, we can't have schedules, and battlers wanted schedules, and we couldn't release them because then everybody would know when things were, and if they weren't on that time, then they would be upset. Oh, how come they're late? Just blah blah blah. It was like a lot easier for everybody if nobody knew what was going on, which is kind of the preferred thing for me, but it's really great for the fans to see what's coming down the pipeline.
I feel like Caffeine just threw that all out the window. They were just like, they have their regular show set up, and then everybody else is just like, you know what? If they're gonna tell everybody when all their content's coming out, then what's the point of us holding on to this information when everybody else is hyped about that? So
right, and it's like a great advertising tactic, because now you are wondering, is this even going to drop? Like, where is this going to drop? Is this just going to be an app thing? Is this like, it's a big mystery. It's lots of power and control there. Shouts out to Shake, young Shake, from No Coast, who also had a battle drop recently. Check him out.
Yes.
No Coast iBattle collaboration for Valentine's Day Massacre. Shake versus Young Sween.
Young Sween do.
Chicago Sween. God damn. That was a great battle. It was a really fun battle. I'm a big Sweetie fan for a long time. And Shake is, if you don't know, one of the best freestylers in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we talked about that at some other point where he'll just like walk into a freestyle tournament and then walk out with the money. Like he's extremely dangerous.
Yeah, and it was really cool. I mean, hey, we could get into that battle a little bit too if we wanted to, because it was really, really awesome to see that Shake not just freestyling, but also having a great mix of awesome punches, unique wordplay, and he was funny as usual.
Jokes.
And that's something you got to be against Sweeney, because Sweeney is unbelievably funny all the time.
Funny. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Sarcastic asshole energy. I love it. That's my shit.
Almost kind of like XQZ, except XQZ is just the asshole part.
Just the asshole. It's not sarcastic at all.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Steve will be in here at some point.
Somewhere.
Chicago Steve. Cool. Really cool stuff. Definitely check them out and subscribe to the channel. No Coast has been around for a long time, creating amazing moments and building for the culture for many years, since as long as I have been a fan of battle rap. So shouts out to them and all the work they're doing. Before we leave the UK, we dipped back into America for a second. Then we dip back out. UK and Ireland, was going to say, got to make sure that's distinguished. UK and Ireland. Yes. Rap is Full had a nice little drop. Scabman to Scaldy. Otherwise, I think it's just Scaldy right now, which is great. It's a little bit better. Scaldy versus Matter on Beat. It was an on Beat clash. I'm a big fan of Rap is Full. I love the work that they do. And I feel like they've been representing Irish battle rap like real hard the last 5 years or so, 6 years. They got a great champ. They got a great little community, and definitely check them out. Give them a subscribe. It's a really dope little clash on Beat if that's your thing.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Rap is Full too is that they have a lot of diversity in the stuff that they put out. They put out not only regular a cappella battles, but they put out on Beat ones now as well, and they do various little ciphers with artists that are battling for them, as well as some UK guys as well that come over, and they'll put out little videos of various people in a cipher. It's really cool. They got a great little thing going with Rap as Well.
Yeah, super cool. Really good people, definitely behind the scenes there. Definitely check them out. And then Matter's great. Every time I see him, just really funny. He's a good rapper. Yeah, really dope. So that's them. That's the UK and Ireland. And now we're back. We got 40 minutes. Let's dig into it.
Oh man, jumping between UK and the States and all of this, the jet lag is killing me.
I know, the time difference.
Really, shake it off. For the culture, Ultimate Madness 5 was a madness. It was an ultimate madness. Mm-hmm. I thought, overall, 4 battles. We only saw 3, but was like a good event. For some reason, I felt like, this is maybe the best event that I've watched from the URL in a while, because all the battles were really good, or at least good and enjoyable to watch, which isn't always the case. I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of a situation where it almost had to be because of how terribly the last one went.
Oh my God.
And how it was off time and it was cutting out and there was all the issues, the judging issues. So this one needed to kind of be a home run. Otherwise, I'm sure a lot of people were going to be pretty sour on Ultimate Madness 5 for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. And so I'm happy that it ended up being that way and it ended up being a success. And the battles were fantastic. And a part of that, which we'll probably get into, is, you're not seeing the same people that are progressing the same as other tournaments prior.
Yeah,
very true.
I think even having like a smaller amount of battles per card too is also important. Like, it gives like the crowd a chance. Like, sitting through like 6-7 battles and you get super tired by the end of it. It's easier to digest. People aren't as tired and the battlers aren't waiting around. I mean, even though we did only get 3, I think it was a good thing anyway. So.
Yeah, there's definitely a question about what is the perfect number, right? And I know that a lot of people want to go heavy. And who was it we were talking to? Somebody, I don't know who it was. Was it Lush? It wasn't Lush, was it? He was like, I want to do fucking 17 battles on a card.
Sounds like a Lush thing to do.
Who the hell were we talking to? Said that?
Was
right? Somebody said that.
Somebody did say that because we were talking about RBE doing straight to it, and there was double-digit battles on that day too, and they were done by 9 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah, which is impressive. But yeah, no, I think Mason, you're totally right.
That's crazy.
You can't give energy to that many battles. Like as an audience member, you just like 100%. You gotta take care of yourself, hydrate, and stand around. But you can't like cheer for and enjoy and be a part of that many battles in one day without sacrificing some sort of quality. And I don't know what the number is. I don't profess to have an understanding of the exact science of ratios for energy, crowd to battles, and all that. But I mean, ARP looks like he had success there. Obviously, people have had lots of success with big card battles. I think for us, our sweet spot is around 6 or 7.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, 4 battles, we really only saw 3, and they stretched it out over. That made it work.
Yeah.
Also, very classic URL to get the most out of 3 battles. That's for sure.
Facts. I mean, people were upset. I saw on Twitter definitely that people were like, "Oh my god, enough of the fucking. Let's get to the battles." But people are going to be upset no matter what, so you might as well just.
Exactly.
They're always upset about something.
Facts. Let's jump in. First battle of the night was.
First battle was
Truffaut.
What can't I remember?
Happens.
Yeah, it was. It was True and Sheed.
Right.
And I saw a lot of people saying afterwards, which was, I'm in agreement with, was that Sheed's second round, I think, was one of the best rounds for Ultimate Madness, period.
Yeah, in history of crazy.
So I was extremely impressed by that, especially considering people wanted him to lose to None from the previous. Like, it totally was a change of idea when it comes to what we're thinking of Sheed happens in the tournament. So.
Yeah, 100%. Even like from last round, all the heat that Sheed had from people saying that he robbed None and whatnot, and how mad people were at Calico for the judging. It was really great to see that Sheed didn't take all that to heart, and he came back still with his full material and put all of his heart into it and really showed his potential and proved all those guys wrong. So that was really great to see.
Yeah, punching and great charisma, and his performance like on 10. Yeah, it's wild to think that Truffaut, upset Geechee and now he's out as well. So
that's the crazy thing about a tournament, I guess. And that's not to say that True was bad. This was a fantastic battle on both sides. And I think that the little stumble that True had definitely did hurt, because when you're in a tournament setting, if you have your opponent that battles and gets everything off 100% clean, and it's a good battle on both sides, and there's not that much to take away from it, you have to take points from something. And if you have a little stumble, some points get taken off for it.
There you go.
The judges are looking for that. And then, having worked with a lot of judges before, it's like a big relief. Like, oh, thank God, this will be easy.
Yeah. It definitely ends up being like that. And I know a lot of people as well. I mean, I came from a league that did primarily judged battles. And there was always various different judges for them. And a lot of the guys would wait and hope that they didn't have to remember something that was said, or by the third round, they're going, yeah, I don't even remember the first round, but hopefully Buddy choked so that I could just give it to the other guy.
Yeah.
Real.
Because that's what it is. And it's like that in a lot of judge things, even fights. It's the same way. You don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges.
Yeah. I Nate, Sosa's you're saying is like the judges don't give them a reason to make their job easy.
Yeah.
It's like, yes. The judges really, the toughest part about the judges is the fans, because this is just, nobody's ever going to be happy with the decision. That's just sort of like the way that it is. I've got a comment here from the thread that we did, the live discussion thread on Reddit. You can check that out. It's sticky to the top of the post. And Strap Lifa 22 says, imagine your shot at 100K is decided by a dude who does not believe that the Holocaust happened. LMAO.
Shout out John. That's hilarious.
That's definitely something, isn't it?
That's pretty funny. Yeah, you never know. Judges are going to judge, but judges are going to judge if people are going to be mad. But I feel like the judging for this event was pretty on point. I don't think I disagreed with anybody. No,
this was one where it was definitely tough to call some of the matches. I had real sick 2-1 over Fawns. I'm sure we'll end up getting into that when we get to that battle. But yeah, if there was a call that I had it the other way, I can see why it went the way that it did. I wasn't shocked by anything. There just wouldn't have been my call if I was the judge.
Right.
Let's get into it. Fuck it. Let's do it now. Truffaut, Sheed. That's great. Great battle. Good job, gentlemen. Sheed advances. Nice.
Rightfully so.
Real sick. Sorry.
That's okay.
Shit, some breakfast still coming up. Real sick versus...
Don't pull a chest, bro.
Right? This show is just nerve-wracking to do. It's very difficult. This would seem like a style clash again, like we were talking about. I think there are layers to this that we're going to have to peel back. But just off first rip, when you were watching, what were you thinking?
When I was watching it, I was thinking that what Real Sick is saying is more impactful than what Fawns is saying. But my secondary thought was, because of the tournament format, it might not be enough for him to advance. Now, I did have him in the first and third still. I had the second with Fawns. I had it debatable, but I could see why it would go to him. But I thought that Fawns had a lot of dry space at the beginning of his third, and that he ended his third strong, and the recency bias might tilt the judges, which is what I think happened, because if you're going to have a dry spot in a round, you want it to be at the beginning anyway, because people are probably going to remember the ending more as it is. Totally. But I did have Sick in the first pretty clearly. And then I also had him in the third because I felt like he just had more. It was more of a
cohesive.
I'm better than you. Yeah, it's an angle that I'm getting at. I'm not just a rapper. I'm angling in a sense of this is why I should advance. Whereas I felt Fawns was just, I'm punching. That's what I do. I'm Fawns.
Mason.
Yep.
Tell me that you disagree.
I don't know. I can't really say that I disagree too much. It comes down to, I don't envy the judges. We'll say that. It was definitely a close battle all around. It comes down to who you prefer. In my mind, and like Pat said, it's so weird calling you that, but I'll go with it. The third from Fawns, it definitely started out a little bit drier than I would have expected, and I was definitely a little bit upset about that. But like you said, the recency bias and having that being the last thing you hear plays a huge factor, because you end up not really remembering a lot of what happened in sixth third, even though sixth third was really good all the way through. Fonz's ending was tremendous, and that's really all that's pretty much all you remember, especially right at the end of it. You just want to give it to him anyway, just because of how good it was. So, if you want to give the third to Fonz, I'm not mad at it. If you want to give the third to Sythe, I'm not mad at it personally. It's hard to call. I don't want to make either of you upset with me for who I go with, but I think I favor a more consistent round, right? So I think I'm going to give it to Sythe because he was more consistent throughout it. He wasn't as dry as Fonz was, so I feel like I'm gonna give it to Sythe 2-1.
Cool. I am going to be the heel now, and I will disagree vehemently with both of you. I thought it was bad for Sythe. I thought it was fun, clear, and I couldn't believe that I was watching it. I was like, because I love Real Sythe. Let's be real. I'm a big Real Sythe fan. I don't know Fonz that well. I've watched him before, but I'm not like super familiar with him. I saw the little promo that he did on Twitter about Real Sythe stealing bars, and I don't think that holds up to scrutiny at all. I think there's some
didn't either.
Yeah, there's some like parallel thinking there or whatever, but there's nothing where he said, what was it, hollow tips? He's like, oh, you got advice from the Dinanon. That's hollow tips. That seems like a really easy bar to come to.
Definitely.
Yes. So I loved the promo. I didn't think that was a factor, but I felt like, Fonz is like, he's not even saying the most complex shit, but the way he's performing it and the fact that it's entertaining and it builds momentum, it's just, he was hitting, he had the room going off, and you're sitting there thinking like, that's not even like a crazy bar, but it's enough. And the way he performs it, man, it's just like, I got to give credit where credit is due. Right. That's as somebody who's in the pocket, somebody who knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and I will say, even though I did have Sythe winning, that's not to take away from what Fonz did.
Of course. And
if you even wanted a little, like a good juxtaposition for that, looking at the fan voting for it, it was 53% Sythe. That's very close.
Yeah.
That is one of the closest fan vote splits that I've seen. Obviously not the closest, but it's up there. And so it ends up being 3-2 judging for Fonz.
Who has more fans, do you think? Like, because when it's that close, then that's got to be a factor. Like, 100%. There are people out there who are riding for Real Sythe, and there are people out there who are riding for Fonz. Who is?
I think that their fans are very even, and the reason I think that is because Fonz won the first Ultimate Madness, which gives him a little bit of an advantage in that regard. I think that Sythe has a lot more credibility in regards to who he's battled since the tournament, unlike Fonz, who hasn't really battled that many people. With that being said, though, too, at that point in time, Swamp and Nitty had yet to happen, and a lot of people really wanted to see Fonz versus Nitty because it would be the two best punchers currently.
Right.
And so that might have played a factor as well. People maybe just wanted to see that matchup, so they're going to try and push Fonz through. So I'd say that it was pretty even when it comes to fans that were watching at that exact time.
Okay, cool. So we'll say that the fan vote was, there's no way to tell, and there's no way to say whether or not there's a bias there. The fan vote is so great because there's really, it's hard to pin down any particular factors that push it one way or the other. People would say Disaster has a lot more fans than Frack, and yet the fan vote was overwhelmingly in favor of Frack. So I think the fan vote and fans are, for the most part, very honest.
Yeah, and you could even see that when talking about the last round with Geechee versus True Foe. Exactly, I mean, Geechee has way more fans than True Foe does, and progressively even when we talk about Nitty versus Swamp. So then here's my
takedown. Here's my defense. Defense. Let's go. For me, watching Real Sythe, especially in his third, when he's talking about his accolades and the things that he's done, it's like, yes, tells the story, that helps build the narrative and creates an angle for you to attack. When I was watching it, I thought there's some things that battlers do that I don't like, and it's when they describe the circumstances around the battle. And I mean, it can be done well, just like anything else. But for the most part, a lot of the time, if a battler is explaining or setting up or creating that, what do you call it, exposition?
Yeah.
It's, if it's not punching at the same time, it's you're slowly losing momentum for me. And I thought, okay, he's rhyming really well. Obviously, his technical ability, obviously everybody understands that. And what he's doing, I see what he's doing in his writing and his structure, and it felt like it was just taken just too long. And in the exact opposite way, Fonz was just set up, knock him down, set up, knock him down. And that has the audience buzzing. And so, like, for me, when I saw Real Sick rapping, I was like, if it's not a mix of the rapping and the punches at the highest level, then I'm not connecting with it as much. And really, that's all that matters is, how much the audience connects with it. And so yeah, I was shocked that he was losing. I really thought that he was going to, come in there just guns blazing like Real Sick normally does. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I thought Fonz was amazing, and he just wasn't up to my expectations.
And this section of our conversation now is really, really important when it comes to style clash battles and how it is very, very difficult in a style clash to make it judged and have someone advance, especially in a tournament, because you have a situation where it really is what is the fan style preference as well. What is the judge style preference? Because like we've talked about before, there is always bias when it comes to judging. And while some of us, such as yourself, are very adamant when it comes to judging about trying to keep it as unbiased as possible, there is still, when we talk about judging with Ultimate Madness, Calico and John and all the battlers that are present that are still judging have some form of bias. And so now it sets the tournaments up to, okay, who punches the best?
Yeah.
Could you then have a tournament that would also set up, let's say, the best air quotations pens?
Right.
Do one where it's just those battlers, where you have Real Sick, where you have Disaster, where you have Daylight, where you have Loaded Lux, those guys that in a regular tournament setting currently wouldn't be able to advance the same way that Fonz, the same way that those kinds of battlers would be able to if it would actually be different.
Right. You'd have the judges take a week maybe or something like that with the footage before the fans saw it. You'd have somebody, you give them time to have the material resonate and breathe a little bit more than you do in the immediate live setting. That being said, this setting, you have to prepare for that. If you're a battler and you're entering, this sort of tournament where you know what the fans are going to be like, what the judges are going to be like, and you prepare your material to cater to that audience, that's successful. That it doesn't matter what kind of battler you are, because you see the opportunity and you take advantage of the things that are going to work for you. So like I wouldn't begrudge, battlers who are more pen heavy or who more rely on being caught, rewatch second time, third time, because that's just the format. Because when you sign up to this shit, you got to know that people want you to take a head off. Like,
yeah. And to be fair, I guess one could use JC as a great example of that, who is a guy who normally would take a few watches to really grasp everything that he said and how he is progressing in the tournament currently by adjusting it so that he's a little bit more at the punch quicker than he may normally have been. So I could definitely see how that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting battle. I think when it drops, if it drops, I don't know how that works. There's going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of discussion. There's going to be a lot of controversy, as there always is, but especially like you said, style clash. People prefer one style to another. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I don't know, man. What did they say? We got one of the comments here is like, a puncher is always going to win these tournaments. It is what it is. From Pretty Fly for a Hentai user. Pretty Fly for a Hentai.
And there's some truth in that for sure.
Not the name.
No, definitely not the name. No. But the statement might be some truth in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people understand that it was a close battle. So
yeah, I think so too.
In a close battle, the judges are going to get off. The judge is going to get off scot-free because it's preference.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And you can't say that it was a robbery.
Speaking of things that I did not expect to go this way, Rum Nitty versus Swamp. We're all on the same page here, right?
115%. I'm this close to Danny Myers throwing my fucking hat or T-Rex slamming it because it's metal, so it's gonna fucking hurt something.
Yeah, you don't want
What happened? I think that's the other thing that we want to talk about too, because there's definitely a factor of expectation.
Right.
And even in, I don't know, Real Sick and Fonz, I had an expectation that Real Sick was going to be the fucking lyrical miracle puncher that I know him to be. And it didn't feel that way. And when I was watching Rum, I'm thinking, God damn, that's a lot of fucking name flips. That's like fucking 80 to 90% of your material is these sort of like not super impressive name flips. I don't know. Shit.
It was, so there's a lot of things that play into this battle for me when this is happening, that I'm thinking Nitty wasn't originally that's exactly what I was literally just going to say. He did not want to be in the tournament to begin with.
Yeah.
He was a fill-in guy. So now you have somebody if this wasn't his idea, he's doing it just to fill in for it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that he threw the battle, because nobody's going to throw a chance away at 100,000. But at the same point in time, what does he have to prove?
Exactly right.
He just won that same tournament not too long ago. And so do I have to really put my all on 2 weeks to battle Swamp? I didn't want to do this to begin with.
It was even surprising, like, seeing him in the tournament to begin with, right? Like, I was like, when it got announced, I was like, what is Rum doing back in a tournament like this, right? Like, why would he put himself through the ringer on short notice and short prep in between? So I can definitely, and like, like you said, I don't really think that he threw it in any way, but like, Rum's material already is like 50% name flips. And so I think he was just like, I'll just lean into that. I'll just rely on that and ride it out and see what happens.
He fucking really leaned into it. Like,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Like he leaned into it like a motocross racer leans, trying to get around a corner. Like his knee was on the pavement.
Nice. And in stark contrast, I've seen Swamp before. I know Swamp. This is like the best Swamp I've ever seen. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
it's been a long time for sure. Swamp's been a little bit disappointing in his recent battles. Even in his battle with Sugar, I didn't think he did that great, right? He started out with like the weird like Briz Rothstein, I'm gonna pocket check you before the battle even starts. And then I forgot what I was gonna say after that. And I was like, oh, Swamp, what is happening? But in this battle, like, thank God he got back to his roots and he showed out. And, like you said, best Swamp that we've seen in a long time.
That's really it. When you say, like, back to his roots, it really felt like his character came through really strong. Mm-hmm. Like, the style that he was trying to execute was just resonating. Everything he was saying, people were really picking up on it. Squadron saying, no way that Swamp's performance was better than his battle with Your Honor.
So interesting that
that's a good point.
That is said, because I saw lots of people, and I agreed with them too, that this was at the same level as the Your Honor stuff. And the reason why it's at the same level, and you got to look at this as two different eras, where at the beginning, when Swamp is battling Your Honor, this is a guy who's trying to crack through onto one of the biggest leagues. And so he's putting out a performance that is above what he may normally do to try and get that respect. You now have a section of time where, you know, people are kind of meh on how Swamp is doing, and people are wanting him to go back to what it was like against Your Honor. And it takes a battle with Rum Nitty, who's widely regarded as the best battle rapper when it comes to punching ever, to bring him back to saying, I need to now get that respect again. And so it's the situation that allows for that kind of performance almost more than the battlers themselves. So his situation against Your Honor, he's trying to get through that level to being a professional. His situation versus Nitty is he's trying to beat the best. And so I think that's I think that it's at that same level. You can't say that it's better than. It's different, but it had to be different than the Your Honor stuff.
Yeah, and definitely the expectations too. I think the thing with, you know, you're battling Your Honor, there wasn't as much, like you said, anticipation. You're battling one of the best in the world, period, in Rum. And when Rum doesn't do what his alien self we've come to expect, and Swamp is exceeding expectations, I think the disparity looks a lot bigger too.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a really tough thing for judging too, is the preconceived notion of what you expect to happen. And when that doesn't start to happen, you know, maybe Swamp isn't performing unbelievably, but because you expected him to get smoked, now what looks to be good material looks like great material just because of that factor. So that's another added thing that it's hard to judge those battles.
It's exciting. It's exciting is what it is. You see David taking down Goliath, everybody goes,
what?
And gets you more hype, and that energy translates in reaction in everything else. But I think that, you know, the running theme here has been performance over writing. You know, you can sit down and you can analyze these lines and you can pour over them. And I think Swamp had a triple. Fuck that. He had a triple. What was it? It was Seabiscuit, the Seabiscuit line. It was, you know, you grip and you'll see biscuits, and it was like Seabiscuits, something about a horse. So there's the horse, obviously Seabiscuits, and Seabiscuits, obviously the guns, and then Seabiscuits like Crip biscuits.
Yeah.
Like, and you got a bunch of reaction, but I'm thinking, you know, looking in my head, I'm thinking, this is really great, like writing, if it was intentional or not. This is a fucking triple right here.
Yes. And interestingly, too, this is something that I'm going to be looking for in battles that happen now. Is this one of those things that people watch Swamp and go, that's how you beat Nitty? Is this something where you now have a person who looks unbeatable, somebody goes in, beats them?
Isn't that exactly what Reed Dollars did?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where I wonder if a lot of people are going to start molding it around what Swamp did and trying to be more like that to beat these kind of guys.
The only thing that I'm like nervous about with that sort of logic is like we were saying, I don't really think this was Nitty at 100%. I don't even really think this was Nitty at 80%. And so if you take that mindset and you go into it expecting that result, and you get 100% Nitty where he's not relying on name flips, it might not end up the same result. So
100%.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe we get a classic, but
there you go.
You're totally right that I don't think Nitty was 100% versus Reed Dollars either.
No.
So really cool and interesting. It keeps the tournament really interesting. You know, Nitty's out. People are saying, "Oh, good, he's available for Gnome now."
And he himself said it too in an interview with Smack. He said, "I'll see you at Gnome." So
there you go.
Maybe we finally end up getting to see Nitty versus Daylight.
That would be great.
It's true.
That would be great if Daylight came back. Well, you know, I mean, or whatever. I don't know. The world needs more Daylight. There has been none since.
Correct.
And then what do we say? The last battle?
Yeah, which
didn't fucking happen.
I've seen, but very interesting sort of situations. It kind of reminded me of Twerk and Snake Eyes on Midnight Madness, where one person was at the event ready for the battle to happen and the other person wasn't there yet. So then they left, and then the previous person showed up and they were like, yeah, okay, they're here now, so you're going to come battle. And so now you got to push it until later because that person then has to come back and do the battle, which also is one of those things where it's probably really difficult for Head Ice to get back into the groove and, you know, put himself back in that place that he wanted to be for the battle.
Right.
I was thinking he probably had to go to sleep. I don't know how old Head Ice is, but I'm old as well. And I'm thinking, like, damn, if JC doesn't get here, I got bedtime in an hour. Like, you know, I got to get up early in the morning and get up really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Do my calisthenics.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, but apparently went down. I mean, I'm seeing that it went down today, so hopefully we'll get some insight on that. I've been hearing that JC won 2-1. But
yeah, and what that leaves us with now is JC versus Sheed happens and Fawns versus Swamp, which if you put a poll out to r/rap battles and said, what matchups do you guys expect to see on the final for each of the brackets, I guarantee you that 0% would say
nobody
Sheed happens versus JC.
Right.
Nobody had that except us. If you remember at the beginning, we made our predictions, and this is exactly how we predicted things would go down. Don't watch. Don't go and watch.
Don't do the research to go look for it, but this is how we planned it out to be.
Yeah.
I remember saying to you, really? You think that's going to happen? And you were like, oh, definitely, trust me. And I thought, you know what? Actually, it makes sense. Official predictions. So this is how
it was. A little bit of argument that we had between us where we were talking about Red making it to the finals, but that
was a wild card. I don't think you can put that on us. Yeah, no, we're just advanced over here. I'm just trying to see if there's any other comments that people made on the thread that were good. No fucking way was URL gonna let anyone repeat on a tournament. Fawn's about to get bounced next. I think that there is a conspiracy, or there's a line of thinking out there that the leagues have any fucking control whatsoever. Literally, they are trying to get the stream right. Like that's
exactly
right. That you think that they're like masterminding who's saying what in what battles. Like no. They need to be able to show you the battles. That's their primary focus.
If the league had control over anything that the battlers said, nobody would choke anything.
Right.
Everybody would get everything off clean.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So no, yeah. I mean, you're totally right. I remember when Diz versus Frack happened, and everybody was like, "Oh, KOTD wants Diz to go through," and I'm thinking, you don't think they want Frack to go through? This is a huge upset. It's very exciting for Battlerap. I think it would be, just as interesting storyline wise if the other guy wins. So like the league knows that the storylines are going to create themselves. They don't have to like get in there and meddle. And also, how would they fucking do that? Like what, what judge is going to say, oh, let me just see what Beasley's saying first before I give you my, like, because judges respect themselves. They respect, they'd have to be paid and they'd have to have no respect for themselves. They'd have to not care. Like these judges are here judging because they care about the culture. They're not going to fucking throw shit because for money, for what? For it just, in no way does it line up with how reality transpires. Normally.
Exactly. And it's always the discrepancy between the first idea, which is they're trying to push these people as a winner versus no, they're not going to let anyone repeat, because when the announcement first came out, there was not a soul that did not go, looks like we're getting Geechee versus Nitty in the finals again.
Literally.
Totally.
Everybody thought that.
We didn't. But
except
everybody
for
else did.
us.
Except for us, we're just
For Pac, it was like shit happens in the finals.
yeah. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Semifinals, yeah. I think you said semifinals. Yeah, no, you're totally right. The storylines get created every which way, and it really is not. The league doesn't have to worry about that. That's not something that helps them.
If anything, at this point in time, the storyline should not be that URL doesn't want Fawns to win another tournament, and that's why Swamp gets past Fawns. It should be that Swamp has now beat Shotgun Shug, Rum Nitty, and Fawns. That should be what the storyline is, that you have someone who is an unbelievable underdog that makes it to the finals. And that should be what the focus is. The same way that we talked about last week. Don't talk about Geechee was better than Truffaut. Talk about that Truffaut had a career-defining moment, and this is huge for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the storyline should be.
100%. No, you totally nailed it. That's what it is. So yeah, there's guaranteed. We can't guarantee anything, but pretty much guaranteed that nobody's fucking with the judges here.
Yeah.
This is. I thought the judges did a really good job. Again, I agree with pretty much all of them. A lot of close, debatable style preference battles, which is fine. But nowhere did I say, "Oh wow, that's egregious," and this judge is obviously being paid or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough job, but it's also an easy job.
Thankfully, there is a committee.
Yes, the commission. I mean,
the commission.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the commission because season 2 is right around the corner, and God knows we had a lot of really amazing quality judges and quality people in the IJC. Check us out, IJC on Twitter, bong bong. But a lot of really cool, important people in the battle rap culture coming together to create that independent judging panel, and I think it's very much tied to the fate of King of the Dot. So we'll see how that evolves. But judging tournaments, judging in general in this culture that is so subjective is always going to be a sore point. And I think we made a lot of inroads and a lot of progress last year, and hopefully some of that gets adopted. I know that some of the judges for Ultimate Madness were using like our point system, like they were using some of the terminology that we were using, which I thought was adorable. They're watching, they know what's up, and yeah, I mean we'll just have to see how that evolves. But hey, you really planted the seed. What about a writers tournament? Wouldn't that be dope? Just like guys who are pen heavy, and then you give the judges like a week with the material.
Why not? And it doesn't even have to be labeled as a pen tournament, but as soon as you see the names, everyone's going to know what it is.
These guys.
But, that's one of those things. I think it would be fantastic to see something like that.
Squad
expanded across the board even, right? Like, could you imagine a huge tournament? Obviously, this is fantasy because there's no way that URL and King of the Dot and all these places would be fine letting their battlers, but a tournament with Ilmac, with Soul, with Loaded Lux, with Daylight, you pick all of those pen guys and put them in a tournament, and I bet it would be insane.
Season 2 going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I wish.
Squadron, welcome to the show, Squadron. You're part of the show now. We're just going to bring you on. Killing it. I don't see why they don't use Midnight Madness process for judge selection.
I don't know what that process is, so I can't speak on it.
The judge selection process is always going to be controversial. I think that people want well-known, high-profile figures in the culture, and especially battlers. And it's not always they're not always the best judges, but it's like if they have that respect, you can't really talk to them. You can't really John doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, he has a little experience. So Calico, he's done some rap battles, I think. Could be wrong.
When it comes to judging a rap battle, when it comes to knowing what happened during World War II, very different things.
Don't need to be an expert on that.
Okay, here's the process. Thank you, Squadron. You're definitely co-host now. So they let the two battlers choose the judges out of people in attendance. Ooh, spicy.
I mean, if your opponent has to agree with you on it, otherwise, what stops one battler from saying, "Yeah, these friends of mine are the judges for me," and this guy says, "These friends of mine are the judges for me."
Let's speak from experience. You have been in how many judged matches?
1, 2, at least 6 or 7.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, for some reason, I thought it was lower than that. That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot of judged matches. Shit.
Yes.
And were you approached about the judges at any point?
I was approached the judges only when I had a title match.
Right. And it was just to clear the judges. It wasn't to select any. It was just,
correct.
Okay.
It was a matter of, this is who I'm wanting to judge the title match. Are you comfortable with those judges?
Right.
That's what it was. Otherwise, it was known that the judges were going to be people that were in the attendance, that were going to be battlers who were also on the card, or battlers who were there watching.
Right. Yeah. So there's a level of confidence there. I think that, myself as well, I've been in many judged matches, and I think that as a battler, from the battler's perspective, a lot of the time it's, who are the judges? Oh yeah, okay, fine. Like whoever they are, they're going to be so impressed with me. They're going to be blown away with how much better I am than this person, that you could choose my most hated enemy as a judge, and he would have to vote for me because I'm just that good. I'm that prepared. That feels like, I don't know what the energy is like, but for most battlers, I think they identify with, like, it doesn't really matter. I know a lot of battlers came into King of the Dot season 1 thinking, scoring system, don't bore me with that. Watch me.
Yeah.
100%. It's not 100%. It's 150. Whatever. I got it. So I don't know. It's tough. I really feel like battlers who judge, it's a mixed bag. I've seen some battlers do an amazing job breaking things down. Mike G is a really good judge. I know it was kind of controversial during the season, but he had an incredible score as far as the judging score is concerned. He's also a very successful rapper as well as a battle rapper. So he's sort of like, he's very well versed. He's very knowledgeable. And when you see him break down his opinions, it's like this guy knows and cares about what he's doing. And if fans disagree, then all of a sudden, Mike G's a terrible judge. It's like, ugh. And then, during the Grand Prix, we've had some judges, because I was keeping track of the judging for that as well. And like legends in the game, just really impressive human beings who would get roasted with their bad calls, absolutely destroyed by the fans who were like, what are you talking about? What are you looking at? So it's really, I think it's a mixed bag. I don't know if you can pick people out of the crowd and trust them to really have the expertise that you need. Who knows? I don't know.
And there's arguments for for any judge, right? I mean, there's going to be an argument if you can have a battle rapper be a judge, and there's going to be a bias because he has a certain style, or he fucks with a certain style, and that'll be, if you get somebody from the battle rap media to be a judge, people are going to be mad because they're not a battle rapper themselves. So I think there's going to be arguments on either side of it, regardless.
Oh, just a blogger. Oh, you can't take him seriously. He's just a blogger. Oh, ARP is not a battler.
Yeah.
Extremely brilliant. Well, extremely brilliant. That's kind of going far. He's very, very smart.
High battle rap IQ for sure.
Right, his high battle rap IQ. Thank you, Mason. Nailed it. High battle rap IQ. All of his judgments, everybody respects them. When you give it, like the battlers who lose, they listen to ARP and they're like, that's a good point. Maybe I should do that better. So, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. That's why we're here. This is what we have to talk about. So Ultimate Madness 5 semifinals are they're going to be in a month.
June 18th.
June 18th.
Yep.
So
2 weeks from yesterday.
I was gonna say, definitely not a month.
That is not a month.
Nope.
Good for them. And then, we were going to get into Set the Bar and Jisho today, but we totally didn't talk about that at all. So Jisho is really great. If you've ever seen Jisho before, he's really great. He's got a battle versus CJ. He's got a battle versus Lucifer. Boy, he's really talented. And I really love to watch him because he's so funny and he's very engaging, and everything that he says really hits and pops. And he's very funny and clever and sharp. And he had a battle scheduled with Ellipsis, which was going to be great Writers of Canada for this next Set the Bar event. But it didn't go down because Jisho was recently hospitalized. Oh, shit. Jisho versus T. Roy. Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Squadulant. No.
Real shit.
You've been helping with so much other stuff.
Long time, not long time, but like a rising star in the scene out here, and really quality dude. And we wish him all the best, definitely, for his recent health scare. Please send him love. Send him love on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. He's a dope guy, dope human being, and a really talented battler. He definitely would have headlined the card in 2 weeks. This Set the Bar card in Vancouver. But circumstances are what they are, and we wish him the best and a speedy recovery so that he can get back in the ring and start killing it. He's a dope guy. This Set the Bar card, just briefly, it's old versus new. That's sort of a theme some people do sometimes.
Yep.
You've seen the full thing, yeah?
Yep, era versus era. It's
sort of, it's not super consistent.
Where the era lines are drawn are a little bit different for each.
Kind of right all over the place, really. Like Ellipsis, I feel like Ellipsis is my era, but he's old era, and I'm new era for some reason, even though I've been doing this for a long time. And then there's some debuts. Waldo versus Grizz Winter, I think is his name.
Is that his full name?
I think so. I will get to know him better when I see him battle. But both of those guys are local musicians, so it's great to see the rap scene and the battle rap scene come together a little bit here, and hopefully we can keep that going. There's always a divide, the rappers, they think they're too good to battle, and the battlers, they think they're better than rappers.
Yeah,
which totally makes sense. That and then the last minute Whoomp, there it is going to be on the card versus JB Styles, which is, if you don't know Whoomp, I'm going to post a clip of Whoomp on as like the greatest round. I was watching him versus Apos, and it's like his first round, Laughing Stock is there. Like, there's a bunch of great people there in the audience, and we are crying laughing. So I'm definitely going to post that.
He is something else.
He's really special. He's an enormous talent, and I think maybe one of the greatest battle rappers ever. I've never seen him lose. If you don't know who Whoomp There It is, it's all one word. Whoomp There It Is. Go watch that. Other notable battles. Creative is back. Creative, one of the best talents in Canada. Definitely got to check him out. He's having he's going to be headlining now versus HK, Higher Knowledge. Nice. He was an old GZ guy from back in the day. Battled Megadeth. He battled Psychosis. He's battled some names back in the day. Pigsty, Rupert Common, that sort of stuff. I could be totally wrong there, but it's a great headline, and it's going to be a really fun event. It's going to be packed. Like, a lot of the people who are booked are ticket sellers, and the venue is kind of small, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But it's going to be absolutely enormous event, and it's going down June 17th. If you are in the Vancouver area, hit me up for tickets, because I got fucking tickets, and I make a little piece off of that. So you want to get your tickets from me? And then I'll be battling Apos and potentially my last battle ever. So it should be a lot of fun. Very exciting. And
dropping a bombshell at 1 hour and 10 minutes into the podcast.
It's like, we get so much fun here. This is all I want to do. Set the Bar, follow them, Twitter, Instagram, and their YouTube, and like and subscribe, that stuff. And then I guess we'll close the show out, I guess, today, unless you guys have anything else.
I got nothing else.
No, I got nothing else either.
Mason, love having you on the show, dude.
Appreciate it for sure.
We appreciate everything you've done for the culture. Real
Yep,
talk.
definitely this one right here.
Real talk.
This is what I've done for the culture, and now I can just drift off into obscurity.
Should you ever decide to step in the ring, will be very interesting.
I think I'm gonna step onto the wax first, and then we'll see. Well, then we'll see after that. But I'll leave all that up to this guy over here.
Who knows? Who knows where fate will take us?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't say never.
Right. Very cool. So yeah. Closing out thing, but I don't know where it is anymore. Where does it say? Oh yeah, that's all for this week. I think I wrote that down. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and join the Discord link in the sidebar. We have too much fun on the show, and we appreciate everybody who joins us. If you are really digging it, and we know you are, make sure that you click the like and the subscribe just to make the numbers go up. The card will be shown online anywhere. Will the card be shown online anywhere? Yes. We'll post it on our Twitter. We'll retweet it. We'll throw it out there. We'll throw it around. It's a good card. And yeah, thanks everybody for rocking with us. And we'll see you next week for a whole new show. Who knows? But yeah, salute. We'll catch you guys. Bong bong.